The massively popular Japanese show Alice in Borderland just released its much-anticipated third season, and this time the cast and the staff had to go through more hardships than ever in order to film the show. Much like the previous 2 seasons, Part 3 of Alice in Borderland revolves around Ryohei Arisu, played by Kento Yamazaki, and Yuzuha Usagi, played by Tsuchiya, and their adventures as they overcome various games and challenges in a desolate parallel version of Tokyo. Every time they won a game, they collected a numbered card, and with only a few cards left to gather, in Season 3, they prepared to face their toughest challenge yet and defeat the mastermind behind the games. This is certainly a compelling prospect, but the director of the show, Shinsuke Sato, revealed that the new season would take some unexpected turns. The director had already said previously that the show wouldn't necessarily follow the story of the original manga all the time, and he confirmed that this would be even more evident in Season 3. He even confessed that the new season was made mainly for those who loved the previous seasons without knowing about the manga. This means that the director and the producers had to work hard to create a compelling storyline that would make sense without disappointing longtime fans of the original source material. Speaking about this, the director argued that he tried to reach a conclusion that would satisfy both those who read the manga and those who didn't, which was certainly hard to pull off. The director also talked about the challenges the producers had to overcome in order to make the show stand out. He argued that in Alice in Borderland, every game is meticulously constructed to turn into a way to explain and resolve each character's issue. Once again, this was extremely complicated for the writers, who had to come up with more and more unique ways to turn these games, which are sometimes brutal fights and sometimes intellectual battles, into a psychological insight into the characters' minds. The director revealed that the trickiest part of this process was creating new, original games that don't appear in the manga, but are still appropriate to that moment in the storytelling. He explained that the show's producers basically had to turn themselves into game creators, thinking about all the rules and filling all possible holes that could break the game entirely. He also revealed that he had a really hard time trying to make the choices of each character fit their ideologies and the themes of the show, and even confessed that he couldn't remember how he managed to do all this successfully. The director also talked about the final game, sharing that this was the hardest to design, and it went through several changes before everyone was satisfied. While the director and the writers surely worked hard, the cast also had to face numerous issues while filming the show. Speaking just a few days before the release of Season 3, Kento confessed that the hardest challenge of all was making a unique Japanese show that would be appreciated by a global audience. He added that this became more and more of a challenge with each new season, but argued that this is what motivates him to work even harder. Tao agreed, saying that while working on Alice in Borderland was often difficult and full of struggles, the overall positive feedback that the show received made it all worth it. Speaking more about the specific challenges they faced while filming Season 3, both Kento and Tao confessed their feelings about reprising their iconic roles. Kento explained that after overcoming every challenge while filming Seasons 1 and 2, he went into Season 3 with a lot of confidence, facing every issue directly. He argued that he has grown a lot both as an actor and as a person while working on Alice in Borderland, and this time he felt like he improved even more, setting a clear objective and succeeding. Tao basically said the same thing, but revealed an unexpected issue that made Season 3 harder to film than the previous seasons. She confessed that given the dark nature of the show, Kento and her both struggled a bit when it was time to film happy scenes, as they got much more used to psychologically heavy moments. Nevertheless, they succeeded, and Tao argued that sharing these moments made the bond between their characters feel even stronger. Also, while they were both happy to participate in the new season, Kento and Tao confessed that they felt a lot of pressure after the massive global success of the previous seasons of the show. Kento also added that since he's himself a big fan of Alice in Borderland, he felt even more pressure to do well and give fans a great performance. Meanwhile, Tao revealed that she was actually quite surprised when she learned that the show would continue for a third season, but she was still very pleased to reprise her previous role one more time. She even confessed that now she wants to see the series get a fourth season, expanding the story of the main characters to future generations. Another massive challenge for both the leading actors and the producers was the inclusion of several new characters into the show. As season 3 introduces a wide cast of new characters, the director and the writers worked hard to make them fit into the series, while Kento and Tao had to work closely with a lot of unfamiliar faces. Despite this, Kento explained that he quickly got close with the new members of the cast, and between takes, they often talked about their daily lives. This allowed the cast to build a strong relationship, a dynamic that was carried onto their respective on-screen characters. Tao instead confessed that it was a bit more challenging for her to get used to the new cast members. She explained that in the previous seasons, her character had teammates of a similar age, which wasn't the case this time. As she found herself surrounded by people from different generations, Tao felt a bit awkward, but in the end, she was able to overcome this feeling by sharing her anxieties about the future and life with her fellow cast members, and this allowed her to build a close bond with them, regardless of their age difference. However, these were just small issues overall for Kento and Tao, and instead, several scenes in which they had to play the games proved to be very challenging to film. Kento explained that the Sacred Fortunes game and the Runaway Train game were really tough to pull off, but also exciting to play. Meanwhile, he argued that the coolest game to film was the Zombie Hunt. Despite his hard work, Kento said that he didn't feel like he had really improved in playing any of these games, as every time they completed filming one, they had to move on to the next, quickly learning new rules and understanding how to solve the new problems. Tao added that filming the games was also really hard for the staff. She explained that the filming location for some games was an underground facility that could only be accessed through some stairs, so the staff had to move all the heavy equipment by constantly going up and down these stairs, which was without a doubt extremely tiring. Meanwhile, Kento and Tao also had to face the emotionally heavy nature of the show, which often deals with dark themes. Kento shared that having to work with these kinds of topics started to take a toll on him over time, but as filming went on and he overcame these challenges, he was able to pull through the dark moments, even though he admitted that he struggled a lot. Tao confirmed that dealing with heavy themes was quite difficult for her too, and even argued that after some time, thinking about these things all the time can also affect your physical health. So she shared that she overcame these feelings by laughing a lot while she was on the set, with the help of Kento, the other staff members, and the staff. While all these challenges were certainly hard to overcome, they don't come close to being the most difficult moment for Kento and Tao. They revealed that by far the hardest scene to film was the ending sequence in the water in the final episode. Tao explained that the set where these moments were filmed was the biggest set they had ever used, and a large number of staff members had to participate in the filming. Different teams were assigned to very specific tasks, with teams dedicated only to managing the waves, others to the splashes, others to the water flowing, and so on. Meanwhile, another team closely followed the cast members to ensure their safety. The stunt team also had to work especially hard to test everything and make sure that the filming environment was as safe as possible. Despite this, filming the water scenes still proved to be extremely hard for both Kento and Tao, to the point that Kento blatantly confessed, "I tried my best not to drown." Thankfully, the hard work of the staff made sure that there wasn't any issue, and the scenes were completed without accidents. Still, it was an experience that both Kento and Tao will surely never forget. Now, the third season of Alice in Borderland has finally aired, and the cast members and the staff can see their hard work being paid off. While the show had some mixed reviews, it has still quickly topped the Netflix charts in numerous countries across the world, proving to be a commercial success.